Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to learn everything we need to know about VA home loans with a nationally known specialist. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, this show is about repaying a debt to veterans. We can't truly repay them for what they put on their on the line for our freedom, but we can help them with benefits. And one of the best benefits that any veteran gets after returning from service is the VA home loan. To talk about that today, Wade Betz. He is with Winning with Wade. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. We were talking before the show that you didn't serve, but you have a heart for veterans.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's other ways to serve, frankly. And even though I didn't personally serve in the military, it is important that people that do what I do for a living specialize in the VA home loan so that it helps our veterans and our active duty military service members use the hard-earned benefit that they deserve, frankly.
Give us a little 101 on VA home loans. What is the rate? What is the benefit to the veteran?
So rates are going to change every day throughout the day, depending on the lender, et cetera. There is no VA rate. So it's not like the VA sets rates across the country. It's going to be up to the individual lender to set their rate based off of the risk parameters of the loan, credit score, the debt to income ratio, things of that nature. But by and large, the rate on a VA mortgage is going to be quite a bit lower than a traditional conventional loan that might be backed by like Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae, for example. 0.5%, 0.25% lower. So if maybe a Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae type conventional loan is like 6.5, maybe the VA would be in the upper 7s. It just kind of depends on quite a few factors, but that's the ballpark. And of course that changes every day. So by the time you see this, it'll be different.
Okay. So tell me one of your favorite stories of a veteran you've helped.
Oh my God, this one comes immediately to mind. She was a referral from a realtor partner of mine who he was helping her sell her current residence that did have a VA home loan, which is important because not every veteran actually utilizes their benefit, which is super frustrating because it's the best benefit. So thankfully she had taken advantage of the VA home loan before, and she was selling that property and she was going to buy a new one. And with the equity that she's amassed, that's one of the big benefits of home ownership is that you build your net worth because of how the home appreciates and then how you pay the mortgage down. So she had a big chunk of money. She was able to wipe out all of her debt completely, put a whole bunch of money in her retirement accounts, which needed the help, get her new dream home with a payment that was significantly lower than what she had to begin with. And because she wiped out all of her consumer debt, it was like thousands of dollars better for her household budget from a cash flow perspective.
Wow.
It was amazing. And she left me the nicest review. She's my biggest advocate. And she is in a better place today because of the VA home loan.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you also help families of all shapes and sizes work on their nest egg and real estate opportunities. Talk a little bit about the other side of your business.
So our job really kind of should start when the home loan closes. So if you're working with somebody and the last time you've ever heard from them was at the closing table, you've got a problem because they should be on the liability management side of the equation. So you have your financial planner for the asset management side, we're the liability management side. So we need to be making sure that we're having annual financial reviews on a regular basis, make sure your debt's always where it needs to be, making sure that if you need to protest your taxes or frankly get your estate in place, just all the things that are connected to home ownership that most people don't really think about. There's no class in high school or college for how to be a successful homeowner.
Yes.
It's on us to help educate people, and it really kind of starts at the closing table. So getting to the closing table is just the beginning. What happens in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, that's what makes a successful retirement. Because you've all seen the studies. The net worth of homeowners, significantly larger than the renting population.
Wow. Okay, Wade has the heart of a teacher. As I was preparing for this interview, he puts up all of this content, and we put together 2 or 3 of these. Let's go ahead and roll that video.
Forgive yourself for your faults and your mistakes and move on. Les Brown said this, and it's a great reminder that you can't change the past. So stop being so hard on yourself, learn from your mistakes, and move on so that you don't repeat them. So as long as you learn a lesson from it, mistakes are the tuition for success. Hit me up in the DMs if I can help, and I'll make sure that you win with Wade. These are 3 of the top renovation projects that'll add upwards of $15,000 to your home's value. Window replacement, almost $13,000 of added value. A screened-in porch addition, approximately $16,000 of added value. And refreshing the exterior siding, we're talking $7,500 of added value. These 3 projects have cost recovery of over 93%, meaning that they can value your home up to 93% of their actual cost. Hit me up in the DMs if I can help, and I'll make sure that you win with Wade. There's a way to do it better. Find it. Thomas Edison said that, and I think it's a great reminder from the man who failed more than anyone else that there is a better way. Don't think that your solution is the end-all be-all answers to how it's done best. There are people doing it better than you. Seek them out. In my experience, people that are successful are often willing to share, much more so than people who are not successful. Unsuccessful people have a real fear-based mindset, whereas most successful people have an abundance mindset. So if there's a better way to do it, find it and then improve your own process. Hit me up in the DMs if I can help, and I'll make sure that you win with Wade.
Wade, I'm so impressed. How did you come up with the ideas for the topics that you choose?
So I've got some mentors in the social media space that have helped guide me. That last clip that we played was all about mentors. So you should be seeking out people that are doing what you want to do at a high level. And I found that the vast majority of those people will openly give you the keys to the kingdom. But it's because 99% of people don't implement.
Well, I love it that you have this attitude of investing in your clients. It's not a transaction. You want to be with them for life.
For years. Yes, absolutely.
Outstanding. Well, I want to pull up some video from our library of just home sales in the DFW area and beyond. Let's talk about what you see for the real estate market in the next 12 months.
Certainly.
What do you see?
So right now, with the interest rates having come down from their recent highs, like the October-ish last year, they were a full 1% higher than they are now. So that's great. That will continue to happen as inflation continues to get under control. There's a labor report coming out early September. If that goes poorly, then my belief is that the Federal Reserve, when they meet on September 18th, will lower the federal funds rates by 0.5%. If that labor report in early September is just kind of okay, I think they only lower rates by 0.25%. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about mortgage rates. I'm talking about the federal funds rate, which is not directly tied to the mortgage-backed securities rates.
Yes.
So
and there's a psychology in the market too. So there's an old saying in the stock market, don't fight the Fed.
Right.
So when the Fed starts easing, does that give millions of people permission to get back into the home market?
It makes homes more affordable. So, and I forget the exact statistic, but basically I think it's like every 1% that rates fall, 5 million more households become potentially eligible for financing.
Wow.
And that 5 million alone far exceeds the transaction volume happening in America right now.
Yes.
So what's happening is right now, even though rates are lower than they were just 6 months ago, if you can comfortably afford now's a very good time because there's not a lot of competition. The second rates drop and you have everyone that's like, oh, I've been waiting for rates to drop. Now they all come rushing into the market. Lower interest rates make homes more affordable, which is very inflationary for home values, so the prices start going up. Now you've got competition, and you could end up with a multiple offer situation, And then you've got some real problems with having to overpay for the home and stuff like that. So the time to buy is when there's less competition. So like the Warren Buffett blood in the streets comment. And then when the market improves, then refinance into your forever mortgage. So every single family that we've helped in the last year or two, and including right now, every single one of them will likely have a refinance transaction 2 to 3 years from now.
So if somebody's watching this and said, man, I need to have Wade in my life, what's the process like? Do they call you? Do you get on a Zoom? Do you meet them face-to-face? What happens?
So most of the time when we have an initial conversation, it's just a phone call. So you can hit my Calendly or call the office, Google me, go to my social, however you want to find me. But the first step is usually a 15-minute phone call. What would you like to do? And then we can talk about next steps from there.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
And, in the final minute or so, I want you to talk to that veteran who hasn't used his or her benefits yet.
Oh my God, yes. So not every veteran uses their benefits. Most of them that do so after they separate from service. So very few active duty military members use their VA benefits while they're in the military. So when they separate from service, that's when most of them will look for it. And it is the best mortgage product in America. So if you just take away one thing from this interview, if you are eligible for a VA loan, there are very, very few reasons that you should not be in a VA mortgage when you purchase your property. They are the best loan. You've earned that right. If you've got any kind of service-connected disability, you're exempt from the funding fee. The rates are fantastic. The underwriting guidelines are the most reasonable of any loan program. If every American could qualify for it, they absolutely would. It's that good of a loan program, and it's got, frankly, an unfairly bad rap in the market.
Thank you so much for sharing your heart and your wisdom. We're going to end with his website, which is winningwithwade.com, the great Wade Betz. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.